Could you ever imagine a world without Halo in it? Because I couldn't. It's no secret that Halo's been on a slight decline in the past few years due to issues behind the scenes within 343 Industries and Microsoft, and this hasn't helped Halo and its performance in the slightest. The 6-year development window between Halo 5 and Infinite, the development chaos that took place within that time, with 343 actually building Infinite in just under 2 years really, from 2019 up until 2021. If you don't believe me, check out the video in the description, we go through everything in major detail on there. But yesterday I was scrolling through Twitter and I came across this tweet. In short, it basically says this. Internally within Microsoft, Halo is officially no longer considered flagship. The decision was made somewhere in the last 5 months. The next Halo game will be the last Halo game if it doesn't meet expectations. The next Halo game doesn't even have half of the budget that Infinite did. The Master Chief Collection is dead. Official end of dev cycle announcement will be made. However, there's no date for this right now. Look, this is the biggest trust me bro source that I think I've ever seen on Twitter, and it's, good for a viral tweet, but is it true? No, probably not. I'm working with a couple of people to try and verify if this is true or not, and Tom on Twitter has already mentioned that, as I mentioned, this is a good viral tweet, but Halo isn't going anywhere. But this video isn't about this tweet in particular, but it did spark a bit of a thought in the back of my mind about the future of Microsoft and, of course, Xbox and Halo. It's a discussion that I would love to have with you all in the comments down below, as it's a valid one to have right now within the state of Halo and the state of Xbox itself, acquiring all of these studios and obviously having the downfall of some of the different games they've released in the last couple of months. I am going to play devil's advocate in this video, providing points as to why I believe this could be true in some way, but also why I think it's total BS, and really I do think it is total BS. But leave your comments down below, but let's dive straight in. First of all, let's start off on a high, why I think this will never happen. Halo's been around since the early 2000s, it's helped shape the brand of Xbox into what it is today, and without Halo I don't think Xbox would be anywhere near their current position. Not only this, Halo shaped FPS games from that day forward, with others trying to compete and become the new Halo killer, but every Halo game was just too strong at that point and within that stage, to the successful launch of Halo 2, to Halo 3 just blowing everyone's mind. Whereas the 343 era, it just hasn't had the same kind of success, with Halo 4 and Halo 5 getting very mixed receptions. Now, tell me this, what does the Bungie era and the 343 era have that are completely different to one another, and one of the reasons why one was so successful and one just hasn't seen that success? Bungie had a dedicated team that were Halo through and through. They had a vision. Management there was competent and knew what Halo was all about. The direction that was provided to the developing team was clear and concise, and it allowed them to craft and polish a game to the high heavens. 343 initially probably had many staffs down from the Bungie era to work on Halo 4, but again, as soon as their IP was handed over, new management came in, new directions, strategies were implemented, and it made Halo turn into something that it wasn't, chasing trends like Call of Duty. All the way up until Halo Infinite's release, 343 had been working on Halo, but it never had the same feel as it did when Bungie were around. The management direction, as I mentioned, was completely different, and sometimes it just didn't help the overall atmosphere within the company, with Halo 5's story being so wayward in some cases, making zero sense coming off the back of Halo 4. What I'm trying to get at here is that if someone cares about something so much, they will do anything in their power to see it succeed. If Halo is as big a priority to Xbox as Phil Spencer says that it is, then why is it the last chance that it gets? As Phil Spencer said back in 2011, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. If Halo has a dedicated team, one with no interruptions, no layoffs midway through, a clear vision and good leadership, why can't it succeed? If Microsoft do not give this franchise a chance, keep pulling people away and interrupting the development cycle of this game, it's going to make it extremely hard for Halo to succeed. So no matter how good the ideas in the game might be, no matter how good the talent is within the studio, if there's something up top which is preventing that from being smooth sailing, then it's going to be increasingly more difficult for a game to be successful. And that can go with anything, any project, a movie, a video game, it could be a life goal of yours, it can be anything. Halo has had 20 years of lore, so much history, a fanbase just waiting for more content and some love thrown their way. It's only a matter of time before this game brings players new and existing, flooding back, no pun intended, to the next entry of the Master Chief story. But man, we need consistency. Halo's 10-year plan, a campaign DLC every single year for 10 years would have been the one. It would have been fantastic. That would have been the success story Microsoft needed and probably wanted and expected for Halo. But because of the issues in development and the shit show that was 343 at the time, it of course fell apart, and look at where we are now. I think 343's campaign development team did a fantastic job with what they had and the resource they had to create Halo Infinite's campaign, going through the likes of COVID, working from home and things like that, and making sure that it was what it was for launch. But just imagine if that game had the full 6 years spent on crafting Halo Infinite's campaign from the bottom up. Or we got Halo Infinite in 2018 after a full 3-year dev cycle. That would have been the dream. Overall, Halo, in my opinion, will never be discontinued. This is a franchise with too much history and marketing power to just keep on the back burner and to not be a flagship. In a time where Xbox needs first-party IPs and flagships, Halo is more important than ever before. In the next couple of years, when maybe we get some teasers or trailers for the next iteration of Halo, the marketing push is going to be there again. If Halo is on the back burner, what are Microsoft really going to push for marketing? Yes, they've acquired Activision, they've acquired Blizzard, so they can push Call of Duty and other games, but they're not Xbox exclusives. Halo is an Xbox exclusive. This is what's going to sell the system. Halo is the game that people want to purchase when they buy their new console, or they want to experience to try and understand more of the lore from when they played it 20 years ago. People of course are concerned that the Activision deal, with it now being pretty much approved, that Call of Duty could be the new flagship or system seller for Xbox. In part I do agree, but with all the shit that's going on, I don't think Xbox can pull Call of Duty away from the likes of PlayStation or other systems. It just won't work. And I don't think there's ever going to be a bigger marketing pull than the Master Chief on the box of an Xbox. Now, let's play devil's advocate here. Why Halo could be cancelled in a way, or just left on the back burner to sit on ice for a couple of years whilst they figure out what to do. At the end of the day, Microsoft and Xbox is a business, and if there's a section of your business that's underperforming and that's just not pulling in the results, it's not feasible to continue funding that section. It's just business. Let's take a look at Gollum, for example, here. This was a god-awful game, one that was hyped up before, but it was one of the most visually terrible games we've ever had in this generation, and due to the terrible reception it had, the studio that built the game were completely shut down, with their staff being laid off and reallocated to other areas of the overall company. It's like, this is game development now, modern day game development. This isn't uncommon in gaming. It's happened so many times in the last 4 or 5 months. The demand for quantity in games is higher than ever before, and the games that are shit, well, they're going to get the backlash at full force. Look at Redfall, for example. It released, it was shit, it got a huge backlash, and Microsoft can't really continue doing this. With a first-party game to compete with PlayStation and even Nintendo, they need to build up their profile, and just putting their biggest IP on the back burner to work on others does not make any sense. Xbox need first parties that are going to smash, like PlayStation do with The Last of Us, Uncharted and Final Fantasy. But if something is underperforming constantly and it seems like the demand isn't there, why keep it around? Put that resource somewhere else? And that could be the thought process. But I don't believe this was ever going to happen. Halo is too big for this. Bigger than big, and I think it's here to stay. But let me know your thoughts down below. But that's going to be it for today's video, everyone. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you think Microsoft would ever consider cancelling Halo or putting it on the back burner? For me, absolutely not. I think this tweet was just to add more conflict to the community in a time where it's not needed. And unfortunately, it does do the rounds. It has caused attention. It has got people looking at it. But I don't think it's going to happen. Parts of it I think could be true, like the budget could have been reduced for Halo due to them going all out with Infinite and it just not working. But in terms of Halo not being a flagship anymore, I just don't think that's true at all. I think Microsoft are in a position where they need first parties. They need games that are going to really attract the people to Xbox. And I don't think games like Call of Duty, even if they've acquired Activision Blizzard, is going to do that, because it's going to be on all consoles anyway, and all systems and platforms, whereas Halo is Xbox. But of course, leave your comments down below, everyone. I would love to know what you guys' thoughts and opinions are. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy as well. It'd be much appreciated. Let's try and hit 100 likes on today's video. And without further ado, everyone, we'll see you all next time.